Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about how to become a flight attendant. It is my most asked question ever. How do I become a flight attendant? And it's so simple. All you have to do is go to the airline that you want to apply for's website, go to careers, and if they're hiring for flight attendant positions, type in flight attendants, and then you go from there. You apply, you send in your resume. But while I say that is so easy, it's a lot more to it than that. So first thing to know before you apply to become a flight attendant, ask yourself this question. Am I willing to relocate? If you're not willing to relocate, this is probably not the job for you, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be living where you work. That's just the choice we make when we become flight attendants. We know that it's not going to happen. There is a thing called commuting where you can commute into work, but that's just like a job in itself. So if you're not willing to move where they want you to move, it's probably not the job for you. 2, a lot of people feel like they have to have a college degree or go to these special training schools or anything like that. From my own personal experience, I did not go to any special school, and I dropped out of college after 1 semester because it just wasn't for me. But I'm still a flight attendant. I've worked for 2 different airlines now. So it's possible. I think that if you have a great personality and some work history working with people, then anyone has a chance to become a flight attendant, to be honest. So I have a lot of flight attendant friends who will say the same thing, those schools or whatever, if you want to go to a cool, do what you got to do, I don't think it's worth it. That's my opinion. Do your research. You want to have done your research on a company before you apply to them, because every airline is different, and that's just what it is. Every airline is different. So also know the difference between a regional airline and a mainline airline. You want to do your research on the company and see if the company is right for you, because some companies have a union, some companies don't. You want to look at pay. There's just a lot of things that you want to look into. So there's 3 different tiers of airlines. You have regional airlines, and then those are the smaller companies that work, you would know that they were a regional airline. It's the smaller airplanes. Your uniforms almost look the same. You're called United. You just get paid by a different person. You have to follow the same rules of the main lines, but you're not mainline, and your pay is different. They get paid the least. Then you have the middle tier airlines, which I'm not really sure what to call them. I'm still new to the industry myself, but those airlines are like JetBlue, Alaska, Southwest, those type of airlines. Those are going to be your middle tier airlines, but a lot of people sleep on them, and I don't think you should, because some of them pay a lot of money and they go to great destinations. Then you have your mainline airlines, the major leagues. That's going to be Delta, United, and American. Those are going to sometimes typically pay more money. It has the most destinations, the most amount of traffic of people coming through. Those are going to be those types of airlines. That's who I work for now. The process in becoming a flight attendant is not an easy one. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it's easy. It's not. It for me was a tad bit traumatic.
Know how I feel. Why would you say that?
But I'm also a little bit dramatic, so sis, take it as you will. First off, I say sis a lot, but guys can also be flight attendants. I don't want anyone to feel like you can't be a flight attendant. They are not gender biased or anything like that. So if you want to be a flight attendant, apply. The worst thing that can happen is they say thank you but no thank you, and you have to wait 6 months to reapply. That's nothing to living out a dream if it's possibly your dream to be a flight attendant. It does not hurt to apply. I'm gonna talk about my process in becoming a flight attendant and kind of what I went through, and then I'll tell you how it normally goes. So after you apply online to become a flight attendant, you have to wait. Normally the process takes a week or 2, and interview. You'll get an email for a video interview. When you get that, they give you, I believe, like 72 hours to do the video interview. I'm sorry, my numbers might be a little bit off because this is not the path that I went down when I became a flight attendant, but this is typically how it goes. So they give you like 72 hours to do a video interview. Once you do the video interview, you submit it, and then you have to wait, and then they will either tell you thanks but no thanks, or you'll get a face-to-face interview invitation. If you get a face-to-face, then you have to go and interview in a large group of people, and they'll decide how many people they want. They already know when they come in how many people they're going to be hiring from that session, and you basically have to sell yourself to these people. You're going to be in a room with 50 other people, and you have to let them know that you are who they want for their airline, and you're gonna represent their airline in the best possible way. So you kind of have to like go in there, not even kind of, you have to go in there confident in who you are, know your resume through and through, and just be yourself, but also be very professional and articulate yourself. Like I went into my interview and I just kept saying, oh, I work for this airline. It was never a, I think I'm gonna work for them. It was always, I work for them. So when I went into the interview, it was like I was already talking to my coworkers. So I made the interview like mine, if that makes any sense. And that's kind of how my process went. And I think that you should probably do the same. And then after you do your face-to-face interview, they'll either hire you on the spot, or they're going to, they'll either hire you right on the spot at the interview, or they'll tell you that they want to, they'll email you back. And sometimes people are like, oh, they told me they were going to call me back and they haven't gotten back to me yet. That does not mean that you didn't get the job. Just know that no answer is better than no. Like, hearing nothing is better than a no. Because if you haven't heard anything yet, you don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just took a pause on hiring people, but you're still in the process. Like, they still want you in the pool of people. So don't take it as you don't have the job. I just want to be clear with that. For me, how my process went when I became a flight attendant with my major airline, I applied and I got a thanks but no thanks. So I decided to go work at a regional airline to gain some experience to see if being a flight attendant was even for me. Now, you don't have to do that. You could just wait 6 months and work a regular job. But I wanted to know if I really like this type of lifestyle, because being a flight attendant is not a job, it's a lifestyle. And that was the realest thing that anyone has ever told me, because it's not just a job. Your life gets consumed by this. It's a lifestyle choice. It's a change. It's a major change. But anyway, when I didn't get the job, so I went to work at a regional, and I was at my regional from the day I was in training to the day that I quit was 6 months. So I literally waited my exact 6 months to reapply. And so I went, I don't know, my spirit was like, go and apply right now. And so I went to my local library and I applied at like 2:00. And at 5:00, I had an email saying that we'd like to invite you to a face-to-face. This is not normal, okay? I did something crazy. I don't know how I got so lucky, but this is what happened for me. So at 5:00, I had an email inviting me to a face-to-face. I've never made it this far. I didn't do the video interview. I skipped that part. So 4 days later, I went and I did my face-to-face interview. It went really well. I made it through all the rounds, obviously. And they told me that they were gonna email me in the next 24 to 48 hours and let me know if I got the job or if I got my CJO or not. A CJO is a conditional job offer. So it's exactly what it says. It's a conditional job offer. Upon completing training, you will have this position. So at 5:00 the next day, I had a CJO and I was off to training 7 days later. The process went like that for me, like really, really quickly. I had no time to get my life in order. If you haven't done any other research on being a flight attendant training most of the time is unpaid. So I didn't even have time to like get a savings set up or anything, but I just knew that this was my dream and this is what I really wanted to do. And I did it. I went out on a leap of faith, and here I am today. I love my job. I don't want to be one of those old ladies still working, but I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So that was my journey. Now, how do you know if this job is for you? First, you got to ask yourself a few questions, because don't waste your time. I'm just going to be honest with you. Ask yourself a few questions. Are you first willing to relocate? If the answer is yes, okay. Are you willing to miss major holidays and family events? If your answer is no, this is not the job for you. I experienced this year, personally myself, I experienced missing my little brother's graduation because I had to work. I was so devastated and I cried really hard, but I knew that my family supported everything that I do, and then I'll come home and we can celebrate on our own. So if you're not willing to miss major holidays like Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, anything that you celebrate, Chinese New Year, if you're not willing to miss those, this is probably not the job for you. You are gonna miss those. Everything is seniority based, and when you come in, you're gonna be at the bottom of the totem pole, and you kind of gotta earn your keep. It's kind of just how it goes. Luckily enough for me, I didn't work Thanksgiving this year. I was on call, but I didn't work. And then I worked Christmas, but I got holiday pay, so I was perfectly fine with it. Even my birthday, I worked because it's considered a holiday at my airline. So yeah, it's just a personal choice. So if you're willing to miss out on that, all right. Are you willing to go without income for about 3 months? If your answer is no, this is probably not the job for you. When you go to flight attendant training, as I said before, you do not get paid. Well, I got paid, but it was like $100. It was not enough to survive or pay my bills, but I just knew that I'm a strong believer in the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. I'm a strong believer in it, and I knew that whatever's out there had me and was covering me, and it was gonna happen for me. And so I went out on a leap of faith. You have to go out on a leap of faith. You have to dedicate yourself to being in the classroom for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, eating 3 times a day when you normally eat all day, only getting 10-minute breaks. You really have to truly dedicate yourself to becoming a flight attendant. And I say that this is a lifestyle and not just a job, because one, once you complete training, you have to move wherever you are based. So if they tell you you're based in Atlanta and you live in Idaho, you got to move from Idaho to Atlanta, or you could fly into work every time you have to work. I don't recommend it, but some people do it. And yeah, so now you're living in Atlanta. You don't know anyone there, probably not, because you lived in Idaho, and now you're on call 24 hours a day, however many days a week, X amount of days a week. And then you work. When you do work, you can work anywhere from 5 hours to 15 hours. It's a lifestyle change. Everything's gonna change when you become a flight attendant. Life just moves like this, but it's so much fun. I cannot imagine any other job that offers me the freedom that I get, the ability to travel for free and experience the world and meet new people. Every day is a new day. If you're sitting at a desk job and you're just like, I am miserable doing the same thing every day, seeing the same people every day, having my boss all harp on me every single day, think about becoming a flight attendant. I love my job. There's nothing I would rather do with my time than to get to fly across the world, meet new people. It's just like it's indescribable. Like I love it. And I feel like everyone should experience it. And just like any job, if you don't like it, quit. Nothing's holding you there. Nothing's making you stay there. It's like any other job. If it doesn't work out, leave. You have every opportunity to find what makes you happy. The best thing about my job and being a flight attendant is the amount of flexibility that we get. We get 12 days off a month on reserve, and I'll make more videos about like terminology and what reserves is, what commuting is, all of that. But just to know if the job is for you or not, the only way you're gonna know is if you try. And it's just like anything in life. you're not gonna know if you're good at it until you do it. You have to take a leap of faith, get her done. And if it works out, welcome along this crazy journey that is flight attendant life. If it doesn't work out, maybe it's just not your time, try again. And yeah, you have to ask yourself some questions, apply to as many airlines as possible, do as much research on airlines as possible. I will try my best to give you guys as much information as I have. I'm still new myself. I've only been a flight attendant for about 2 years now, so not even that long. You just gotta go for it. Do it, get her done, have fun. Know that at the end of the day, nothing is a mistake, it's just a lesson. I wish you all the best of luck if you are trying to decide if you want to be a flight attendant or not. This is the coolest job ever. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If there's any other videos you guys want me to make, just leave it down below. Thank you all for watching. Mom, I'm not sorry today. This video was a good one. Bye, guys.